Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So I'm back with a new video, and this is literally just a bit of a go-to guide for physiotherapy. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So I'm back with a new video, and this is a physiotherapy go-to guide to help students who are looking to study. Just give you some of my advice and tips to help you in your application, and I wish you all the best, and I hope this video helps. If it does, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more physiotherapy content, and most importantly, enjoy. So the first most important thing to consider is, why do you want to study physiotherapy? Are you someone who's caring, compassionate, you want to make a difference in people's lives and help them after disease or after an injury? Or are you someone who just wants to go into sports? Both of these reasons are absolutely fine, but it's very important to understand that physiotherapy covers such a wide spectrum of work and is not necessarily just sports, and sometimes it's not really favoured when someone is so adamant on working in sport. It's good to understand that there's such a scope, and when you're studying and when you're on placement, you'll be seeing such a huge variety. So my advice is to speak to people who know about the job, who may have experienced physiotherapy themselves, or someone who's a physio, or speak to your school advisor and really make sure that's the right fit for you. The next piece of advice is to start doing your research now. If you're in year 12 or year 13, or maybe you aren't in A-levels and you're doing an access course or college, start doing your research now and look into other careers as well. So look into physiotherapy, maybe also look into occupational therapy and nursing and podiatry and rehabilitation science. See, because some of them are quite similar, and see which is the best fit for you. It's also important to know the differences, so in case you're asked in an interview, why have you chosen physiotherapy over nursing, then you'll kind of have an understanding of why. Some good resources to use to gain more of an understanding is the NHS website, the CSP, which is the Chartered Society of Physiotherapists. Prospects.ac.uk is really good for understanding jobs and the descriptions and opportunities, qualifications, salaries and skills. So to apply for physiotherapy and to become a registered physiotherapist, you need to have completed a degree in physiotherapy. I'm aware that they're starting to roll out apprenticeships for healthcare courses, but at the moment what I'm aware of is that you need to do the degree to get into the job, and you get onto the degree via UCAS, which is the University and Colleges Admission System. So start thinking now about what universities that you might be interested. A good way to look at universities is through league tables. So the top 3 at the moment, when I last checked, was the University of Southampton, Robert Gordon and Cardiff. Although I would not say that a league table is the most accurate way of deciding your course, because I go to a university which is not as high on the league table. It's not a Russell Group university, and I absolutely love it. The teaching staff are so knowledgeable, the course is set out really well, so don't let that be your only way of deciding which university you're going to go to. Make sure you look at universities with a range of grades, so some that are higher, such as the University of Southampton, which was AAA when I was applying, and some that are lower, such as the University of Canberra. Get a good insight into different courses, and this will really help you in your application as well, because then you kind of have more security with then all the same grades that you're applying for. Catch student reviews. You can use chat rooms like the student room. I know when I was a student looking to apply, I'm still a student, when I was looking to apply, that was really helpful. You can get an insight from current students about how they find the universities, and an inside scoop, which is really cool. Entry requirements. It's also important to look at GCSE requirements as well as A-levels, and so I know some universities accept an EPQ, some don't, so check that as well, if it will be accepted as an A-level. You can also find out about facilities such as gyms, the accommodation, the distance to uni from town. So the student room is really helpful. I would really recommend that. So my memory's a bit fuzzy because this is such a long time ago, but the universities that I applied for was Glasgow, Caledonia, Keele, Huddersfield, York St John's and the University of Brighton, and I ended up at one of those. And they're all different grade ranges, so yeah, I definitely recommend doing that. Don't just put them all at the same level, and then, because if you don't get the grades, it's likely that you may be rejected from all of them. So give yourself a bit of security. On to something that is so vital. Get yourself some work experience shadowing a physiotherapist, and get it as soon as possible, because it's so important that you get that exposure into what the job is. I remember when I was on work experience, I did a 2-day placement at a hospital shadowing the physiotherapist on different wards, and I saw that it was not glamorous. There were some tasks that were disgusting and that you don't think you'd be doing, but it gives you this insight, and at the end of it, it reaffirmed to me that this is what I want to do, this is what I think I'll love, and I'll be able to care for people, help them, make a difference in their life. So definitely do that. If you can't get some work experience in a hospital, because it was really difficult for me, it took me about 3 years and many attempts, go and look at schools, look at clinics, sports clubs, anything related to being a healthcare assistant, anything like that. Get some experience, because it's better to show that you've got some insight into healthcare rather than not having any experience at all, because you couldn't get anything physio related. And when you've got your work experience, plaster it all over your personal statement. So your personal statement is what your universities are going to read to get an idea of you and see why they should accept you into their university and why you'd be a good fit for the course. So make sure you evidence all the work experience you've done, because like I said, it is so vital for the course, and it's such a strength to your application as well. Showcase what makes you different from other students. If you've done anything interesting, for example, I did an appointed first aid course. I popped that into my personal statement as well, and it just shows off your achievements other than your academic achievements and why you want to study. Just make sure that you come across as someone who's passionate about the course, who understands the profession and understands what you'd be getting into and why you'd be such a good match for the university. Just let your personality shine through, basically. And with your personal statement, give it to your friends and family to read in case there's any errors, because sometimes when you read something over and over again, you glide over these mistakes. So get your friends and family to read it, get teachers, your head of your year, head of sixth form to read it, because they want you to do well and help you achieve. And read what helped me as well. Read personal statements online for physiotherapy. There's a ton if you just Google them, and use that for inspiration. Don't copy it, but use it for inspiration. So now that you have your universities, it's time to apply for UCAS. Like I've said before, with your 5 choices, make sure you stagger them in grades. Have some that are higher requirements and some that are lower, so you have that security, and make sure you have your conditional and your insurance choice being different grades. So in case you don't meet the grades for the conditional, then you're likely to be able to get into your insurance. And make sure, if you decide to defer, because this is something I wanted to do before uni, you make sure that the university accepts it, because I got rejected from Keele because they don't accept deferred applicants for physiotherapy. I wasn't aware of that, so that was a wasted choice in that sense. So just make sure it's very clear. You get your offers, fantastic, well done, congratulations. Then you'll be moving on to the next step. But if you haven't, please do not worry. This is what happened for me the first time, and there are other options, so do not panic. So if you find yourself in a position that you haven't been accepted, there's the option to apply through Extra. This is another option through UCAS where you have the opportunity to apply again for one university. So make sure you find a university that will be a good match for you, that you can visit on an open day as well. That's so key, visit on open days to see if you like the university and if you can fit in there. And then if it's a good range in terms of you believe you can get the grades that they're asking for, then absolutely go for it. And if you get a invitation to interview, fantastic, well done. And if not, there's clearing. And again, do not worry, it will be okay. So now my advice for interviews is to dress smart casual. Don't go over the top, but also don't dress too relaxed. So I wore this just like this dress. It was like a smart dress from Jaeger, which used to be my uniform when I worked there, but it was just a nice outfit which I felt comfortable in, and I felt like I looked smart as well. So make sure you find that right match. So for girls, maybe I'd recommend wearing a nice blouse and a skirt, or trousers, or just a nice smart dress. Guys, you can wear like a shirt and trousers, or a jumper and trousers, or a suit if you fancy. Just make sure you also feel comfortable. For my university, we had a group interview and we had an individual interview. My advice for group interviews are to not be the person who dominates the conversation, but you don't want to be someone who doesn't talk at all. Make sure, what I did is I listened to what someone said and then I'd elaborate on that. So let's say, for example, Sarah said in response to what makes a good physio, someone who is a team worker. I'd say, and I agree with Sarah, I think it's really good to be a team worker. Along with that, I think it's really important to be compassionate and understand that these patients are going through traumatic time, and we want to be comforting for them and caring and really aware of their feelings, and try to encourage them and motivate them to get better. I had an individual interview. Please prepare yourself, and yeah, that's the most important thing. Come prepared. So there's a lot of resources online on how to answer questions. For mine, they just wanted to get to know me as a student, so I was asked questions like why I want to study physio, how I'd manage the workload, stuff like that. They just want to get to know you as a person and see if you'd be a right match for the course and for the university. So don't panic, because it was really, really relaxed and really friendly. The lady who interviewed me was absolutely lovely, and I was just really trying to get across how passionate I was about the course, and I think she was aware of it. She did say, I can really tell you're very, very passionate about this job. So that's really important, but don't be nervous, because it will be okay. So congratulations if you've had your interview and you passed, you've got a place onto the course. Start preparing for your accommodation, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of videos on what to pack to university. Don't overpack like I did in my first and my second year. So yeah, just take it easy. I will link down I'll put a link in the bio to my university. I did a blog saying what I wish I knew before university. That might be helpful, and I'll do some sort of video on what to pack in the future. But if you're in the position where you are now in clearing, you'll be okay. You've got it, you've got it. If you're a student who unfortunately hasn't gotten a place, don't give up. I didn't get onto the course in my first attempt. Sometimes it takes multiple attempts, but if you're persistent and persevere and don't give up, you keep trying to get experience and just learn more and show that you're passionate, then you eventually get onto it. So it will be okay. So if you're a student who has gotten a place, whether you got it originally or through Extra or through clearing, congratulations, you're about to start an amazing degree and an amazing profession, and I'm so excited for you. And yeah, my biggest advice before you start your course is start revising your anatomy now, because it is difficult, but if you stay on top of it, you can understand it. Keep practicing, revise your anatomy. A good book is Palestanga or Trail Guide for anatomy revision. Just begin now. You're gonna love it. It's intense at times, but I would 100% recommend it. It's such a worthwhile job, and once you're on placement and actually getting to experience what you're learning, it's just the cherry on top of the cake. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. This is so uncomfortable holding up my phone with my hand. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.